All right, questions for Luka. Go ahead.
Luka, only one assist for you, obviously extremely unusual. Don't think we've ever seen that before in a game. You played a lot of minutes in. What were they doing or what were you guys not doing that made the distribution part of the game so difficult?
They mostly play one-on-one. They didn't send a lot of help, so that's why.
Luka, you've obviously been here before, down 0-1 in a series. What do you remember about, the first round and the second round, what the next day was like for you guys? What did it look like? What did it feel like?
I don't remember. Just you lose or you win. First to four, we got to focus on the next game.
Does that give you guys confidence, though?
Of course. You want me to say we have no confidence?
I just want to hear you say it. It's good for our stories.
Of course.
Luka, obviously, Kristaps had a really big first half. Just from what you remember playing with him, why was he so impactful out there, just taking advantage of pretty much every matchup he had?
Yeah, he was great for them. He was knocking out shots. He was blocking shots. So he was really, really huge for them on both ends of the floor.
Tansy right in the front.
What kind of problems does the Celtics 5-out offense present for you guys on defense?
Their spacing is great. They have a lot of shooters. So I think we got to do a better job taking those three away.
Luka, for you guys as a team defensively, what needs to change? You guys have been so good throughout these playoffs. What was different tonight? What did they do to get you guys off your front foot?
Just like I said right now, we got to take those threes away, and that was what hurts us the most.
And just please say your name and affiliation.
Robert Littell, BSO. Luka, you guys did make a bit of a run at the end of the second quarter and the beginning of the third quarter. What was working for you in that little patch of time that didn't quite carry over to the entire game?
Just playing our basketball. I think in those moments we were playing our basketball. We were getting stopped. We didn't allow them to offensive rebound. So we're having fun out there those couple moments, and that's what we got to do more.
Delam pred Poptevi. Luka, kaj bo v naslednjih dneh najpomembnejše za vas, da se pripravite v nedeljo na novo tekmo?
Počitek najbolj važen, pa gledanje videa, kaj smo narobe naredili. Good.
Hi, Luka. Aurelia for the German Basket magazine. You played already a lot of big games in Europe. How was it compared to that now, the first finals game for you, game one?
Obviously this is a bigger stage, but those games, finals, prepare you for this moment. So we passed game one. We didn't do our job well, so we got to focus on the second one.
¿Qué tal, Luka? Katia Sorena de ESPN. Decía Kai que esperaban esa intensidad, evidentemente, de ellos. Estaban en casa en este juego 1, pero ¿cuál fue el principal reto para que ustedes pudieran asentar su juego?
Jugar nuestro baloncesto. Tenemos que hacer eso mejor y tenemos que ser más físicos.
Luka, Tomer with Clutch Points. When you guys got a lot of great looks, I think especially Kyrie just didn't miss them. When you have a game like that after playing together for so long this season, all the ups and downs, do you say anything after a game like that? Is it kind of just move on to the next? How do you approach that?
Just focus on the next game. I think we really got good shots. We just didn't make them, but. We got to go game by game. Now the game one is over. We got to watch film, what we do wrong, and focus only on the next one.
Back right, Tim.
Luka, Tim Reynolds with the AP. We all know that Boston makes a ton of threes. Is the challenge more to take that away, or for you guys to have to make more to kind of keep up, knowing that they're going to make at least some?
Obviously, I think they're the best three-point shooting team in the NBA. So sometimes really hard to take those away, especially when they have 5 guys out. They can all shoot. So obviously, we got to make more. We didn't make enough shots today to beat them, but we got to be better on both ends.
Any other questions for Luka?
Oh, we're good.
Thanks very much.
right down here. Dorothy Gentry, I'm Messenger Media from Dallas, Texas. Kyrie, share with us what you're feeling right now, just your thoughts mentally. How do you get yourself geared up for Game 2?
Just grateful for the experience to get through Game 1. Just a lot of emotions going into it, and just waiting for the opportunity to get out there and compete. Going against a great Celtics team. So we just had to get this one out the way, and we didn't perform the way we would have wanted to tonight. It starts with me just being able to get out there and get us settled. I got to take some accountability for just the communication and just going out there and getting used to the way that the kind of environment was going to be. But I think my teammates did a great job of staying together, sticking to the game plan. We obviously made some mistakes, like I said, but we gave ourselves a chance in the second half, and we just got to continue to do the right things and win the quarters as much as we can. They came out and hit us in the mouth early, got the home crowd going into it, down 17 in the first quarter. It's not really like us to give up 37 points. It's happened to us before in the playoffs, but we just want to make it a lot tougher on them. And they hit a lot of threes. And again, when you get them rolling like that, they play a very easy game the rest of the game. And we just got to hit them in the mouth a little bit. So they did their job getting Game 1, but we're going to take our lessons and get ready for a good Game 2.
Here in the front, Tim.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. Kyrie, obviously with you and Luka, you guys have two of the best one-on-one players in the world, but ball wasn't moving tonight. How do you avoid, with the way that the Celtics play defensively, falling into kind of the trap of relying on isolation and becoming stagnant?
I don't necessarily agree that it's a trap, that they want to set us. I think that they really rely on their great defensive ball pressure, their one-on-one defenders, and they funnel us into certain areas. I mean, even as I say that they're relying on the one-on-one, every time I got an ISO, there's, almost 2-3 people waiting for me to get in there. So I got to catch the ball on a live dribble and just be aware of my opportunities. It's uncharacteristic for us to have only 9 assists. The ball's got to move a little bit more. And again, that starts with me just being able to push the pace, get us some easy opportunities, and just adjust to what they're throwing at us. So it's a fun series. It was fun just, going into the game. It's still going to be fun, but there's going to be a level of chess that still has to be played. And, Game 1 was just about adjustments. We obviously wanted to win this basketball game, gave ourselves a chance in the second half when we were down by 8. Then they brought it up to 16, and they got up to 22 when we called the timeout. So I'm just going to be replaying some of these possessions, but, at the same time, look at some of the positives that we can carry on to Game 2.
Here in the front, Mike.
Kyrie, Mike Curtis, Dallas Morning News. You mentioned the environment. How did that either meet or kind of exceed your expectations, and how did it affect you tonight?
No, I mean, it's basketball at the end of the day. Being in this environment, I'm used to it at this point. Early in my career, there was a different relationship that I had with Boston, just being able to come here, be settled with a veteran group. Now I'm here as the veteran. Over the past few years, just experiencing the playoffs here, even regular season, it's been the same thing. I thought it was going to be a little louder in here, but I'm expecting the same things going into Game 2. Crowd trying to get me out of my element, my teammates out of my element. But again, the energy's got to be focused towards the game. I felt like I had a lot of great looks. They hit back rim, or they were just a little left or right. So I just got to stay confident and stay poised throughout this, man. This is the best time of the year to be playing. It's only 2 teams left. Let's put it in perspective. So the environment's going to be what it is, but my focus is on our game plan and making sure my guys feel confident and I feel confident, and continue to shoot great shots.
Here in the front on the right.
Valencia King, Real Talk Sports out of Dallas. Thank you for your time, Kyrie. I heard you mention 2 things tonight. One, you're grateful for the moment and that the young guys did well. When you see them embrace this moment, especially not being on this stage before, I know it wasn't the outcome you guys wanted, but what is that moment like for you, kind of seeing them rise to the occasion?
Very proud of them, and also amazed at how poised they are. This younger generation has just a quiet confidence and a knowing about themselves, and I think when we hit a little adversity, we just have to know how to respond as a group and a team. We talked about it in a lot of huddles, but we got to act on it. And that's what this game is about, is controlling our actions, making sure that we stay positive, but also know what we're going up against, the competition level. We're the best in the world at this point. It's only 2 teams left. We've proven why we deserve to be here. We've earned our right to be here. So it's no time to see ourselves as a short opponent or someone that's not capable of coming out of this. It's game 1, but at the same time, we got 2 days in between, so there's going to be a lot of noise and a lot of who played well, who didn't play well, who's under pressure. And just tell my guys now is not the time to fall into that and get divided and, be on social media all day listening to people that aren't on the court with us. No disrespect to anybody, but it's just, we're the players out there, so we got to control what we can control and be ready to put on for each other.
2 seats down here on the front.
You're right about that. I'm dying right there with you. Mike Leslie, WFA, you guys defensively have been so good in these playoffs. Tonight, the way that they were moving the ball, it seemed like you guys were a step slow on the rotations. What do you need to change? How do you guys improve on that for games?
We just settle in emotionally and also just continue to pinpoint the things that are working for us, where we're funneling their guys to where we want them to go. And then also offensively playing off a live catch. They do a good job of loading up when we're on a dribble. They do a lot of, reaching, a lot of verticality effort. So you got to give them credit. We're going against a great team. And now is the time to just look at film, spend the next 2 days healing up and just getting ready for a physical game too.
Dwayne Price, Mavs.com. Kyrie, you guys outscored them in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. How do you piggyback on that and take that into game 2? And what did you guys do in particular to get the score back to 8 points in the third quarter?
Again, just look at film and then also be ready to wash our hands with what this game was and how we didn't rise to the occasion to start off the game, or just be able to battle with them during those runs. They're going to make some threes at times, but we want to make them tough. When they're at home, they shoot incredibly well. So we knew what we were getting ourselves into, but until we experience it, then we wouldn't know. So this is the first time this group is experiencing the finals. We don't want to use that as an excuse. We want to use that as an strength. We want to use that energy that we have of just going into it and playing our game to our advantage, and then we'll see how the chess pieces fall in.
Over here on the left, Robert.
Right here, sir. Robert Littell, BSO. Obviously, during the playoffs, you've lost game 1 before. You've come back very, very strong. You yourself have been part of the greatest NBA Finals comeback of all time. I sense a lot of calmness and peace with you up on the stage here. How do you spread that message to your teammates that it's just game 1, we've been through this before, and as a leader, kind of get them in the right frame of mind for game 2?
Yeah, it's not the first time I've lost in Boston, so I don't want to continue to make it a habit, but they've had the few games over me, and they have our number, and it's just not our number. I don't want to say our number, but over the past few years, the teams that I've been on, they've had my number a little bit, and you got to give credit to a good team. They've been good over the past 3-4 years, so we want to show them respect, but at the same time, we want to bring our best game. We have to play 4 of our greatest games in order to win this series, in order to win the finals. It's not about, holding our heads over one game if we don't play well. It's the first of 4. We obviously know that, but we just have to play 4 complete games, 4 of our best games, and then we'll see where we stand after that. But in the meantime, we got to look ourselves in the mirror, and it starts with me as one of the leaders on the team. How can I be better? How can I be more poised in this environment? It's not the booing. It's not the missed shots. It's more or less just our attitude and how we approach possession by possession. Our identity has been made on the defensive end. We've proven that. I haven't had the best games offensively this playoff run, but we've been able to get stops, timely stops, and been able to pick each other up on the offensive end. We have all-world talent on this team, skill sets out of this roof, but now it's just about remaining confident and always knowing that, you have somebody that's been through it, but now it's our turn to go through it together, and, this is what makes it exciting.
Last question here on the right.
Tim Cato, The Athletic. Kyrie.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nah, you're good. So similar question to the one you just answered, but when you guys went down 0-1, twice already in this postseason run, do you remember what the next day felt like? And clearly why that it worked in both of those series?
I mean, yeah, it's hard to compare just because you're going against different players, different series. But I will say that the next day was pretty cool. Because to see us still join together in practice, still go through our day-to-day routines and rituals, and just hold each other up and hold each other accountable, but in a very healthy way. And we're very honest about what we can continue to do better, and then we're very honest about how we can coach one another to be better. We're going to hear the familiar sentiment or the familiar phrase that a lot of guys haven't experienced the finals and on our team, and that's okay. Experience is the best teacher, and once you get game one out of the way or game two out of the way, you start feeling better about the series. But when you lose game one, there is a level of disappointment. We're human. I've always said that. We're going to feel the natural emotions. You feel the highs and lows of the journey, but when you lose a game like this, especially in the finals where everyone's watching, it's going to hit you a little bit. But again, like I said, now is the time to not get on social media and not pay attention to what you guys are saying, no disrespect, but we got to go out there and just focus on what we can control. And I just know how the next 2 days are going to go, man. It's going to be very loud. It's going to be very chaotic at times. People are going to have words to say about how we can be better or how we're going to win or lose the series. But again, it's about us focusing on what we can control in that locker room. And we have great leaders in that locker room. So it's not just me who has the experience that I'm going to be leaning on. I'm going to be leaning on everybody to help me out too, as I help them.
Thank you, Kyrie. On the left.
Tim Cato, The Athletic. PJ, Luka just came up here and said that they were playing you guys one-on-one. He had 1 assist. You guys had, I think, 1 corner three going into the fourth quarter. What effect did you sense that had on the offense?
I don't really think offense was our problem tonight. I think they had a bunch of threes that we need to do a better job of contesting. Had a bunch of offensive rebounds that led to second chance points. So that's what we need to focus on. Offense will come. We're good enough to score, so I'm not really worried about that side of the ball.
Mike Leslie, WFA. PJ, you guys had a stretch there early on in the third quarter where you cut the lead down to 8. Seemed like you guys had built some momentum. What can you point to from that stretch that worked, that allowed you guys to carve into the lead, and how do you replicate it going forward?
I feel like we guarded better in the second half, got downhill, got in transition, and we settled down. Obviously had a week off, so tough game coming in here in game one. We'll be better game two, and we know we need to work on.
Mike Curtis here in the front.
PJ, Mike Curtis, the Dallas Morning News. When Kyrie's having a game like that, and obviously he's hearing it from the fans, I guess how does that impact you all on the floor? And then I guess what do you say to him in that moment to kind of lift him up?
Keep going. He's a special player. He's a special guy. So at the end of the day, we just got to keep encouraging like he's encouraging us. So we're not really worried about the crowd or anything other than that. We're here together as a team, and we're going to stick together.
Hi, PJ. Aurelia for the German Basket magazine. In the third quarter, we saw you going full court and going for a tough left-hand layup. Can you share some thoughts that you had in that moment? Because it really looked like you didn't give up and you still believed in you as a team. So I thought it was a very intense moment. Can you share some thoughts?
I was just trying to take some of the pressure off Kai and Luka bringing the ball up, and I feel like I can get downhill versus some of those guys pretty easily. So just try to use my power and my strength and get downhill and make plays.
Front row here.
Valencia King, Real Talk Sports out of Dallas. Thank you for your time, PJ. You kind of talked about that stretch a little bit where you guys cut the lead to 8. Lucas said that's a time period where you guys were having fun. How do you maintain that for a full 48 and just make it simple and have fun?
We just got to stay connected, stay together. I felt like we let the crowd get to us a little bit, let the refs get to us, let them making shots get to us. But at the end of the day, we just got to stick together and be ourselves. We're a great team. They're a great team. At the end of the day, we're all right. I mean, it's only one game, so we'll be better, and we'll be better for game 2.
Over here on the left.
Hi, PJ, Bob Schron, the Journal. I think you kind of touched on it a moment ago. In the beginning of the game, was the stage a little surprising? You've talked about being in the finals, but until you actually do it, it's different. And then the other question I want to ask you, the pace of the game. favorable, or how did you read that?
I think the first quarter they hit a bunch of shots. We felt like we could have contested better, played better defense, but obviously they got going in the first. I think our pace was good in the second half, not so much in the first half. And we just got to stick with that in the second half and just keep putting pressure on them in that end.
Dwayne Price right here in the...
Dwayne Price, Mavs.com. Obviously, KP came off the bench and gave him a big lift. What can you guys do the next game in order to slow him down?
We just got to be better. Can't give him no open looks. We let him get comfortable, and we let him get warmed up in the mid-range, and it kind of led to them obviously getting a big lead. So just got to be better, be more locked into to their tendencies, and just be more focused on that end.
Any other questions for PJ? Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Tim McMahon right here in the front.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. Jason, only 9 assists for you guys, just 1 for Luka. Obviously, those are pretty alarmingly low totals. With the way the Celtics play defensively, how can you guys get the ball moving and create better opportunities?
Yeah, I thought give the Celtics credit. They did a great job tonight defending, making it tough on us. We had some good looks that didn't go down. We got to move the ball. The ball just stuck too much, and we'll be better in game 2.
Mike Curtis here in the front.
Mike Curtis, Dallas Morning News. Hey, Jason. Luka said that they were guarding a lot of one-on-one action. Just with Kyrie and just the way he struggled offensively, did you like the looks he was getting, or just, I guess, how are they playing him?
Yeah, I thought he had great looks that just didn't go down. He had some great looks at 3. He had some great looks in the paint. That's just part of basketball. Sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't. Tonight they just didn't go down for Kyrie or most of the team. And hopefully we get those same shots in game 2 and we can be better.
Dwayne Price here in the second row.
Dwayne Price, Mavs.com. Jason, the game started to turn a little bit when Porzingis came in. What was he doing out there to be so effective tonight?
Yeah, KP was great. He knocked down shots. He changed shots. He blocked shots. He gave them a spark when he came off the bench. We just got to make it a little bit tougher. On the offensive end, we got to make him do something different. He got great looks and knocked them down.
Here in the front.
Mike Leslie, WFA. Jason, you guys did make that run there early in the third quarter, cut the lead down to 8, seemed to develop some momentum. What of that is replicable? What can you take away from that stretch to try and recreate that in game 2 and going beyond there?
Yeah, we did cut it to 8 and got the rebound. Unfortunately, came up with a travel. A lot of good things in that third and fourth that we can build on. That's what we talked about after the game, and that's what we have to do. We came out and won the third. Had a great opportunity to cut into that lead. Unfortunately, they go on a run once we cut it to 8. But then, we won the fourth. So there are 2 positive things that we can take from this 4 quarters. We got to be better in the first. They took advantage of that. They knocked down 3s. But, the big thing is we have to be better as a team, offensively and defensively.
Not to only focus on the travel, but the youth on the roster. How did you feel like you guys, the guys who hadn't been at this stage, how do you feel like they handled the moment?
They did great. They did great, and they'll get better as the series goes on.
Brad Townsend here in the front.
Jason, Brad Townsend, Dallas Morning News. When teams have spread the court or tried to spread the court on you guys during the playoffs, your bigs have still been very effective. Tonight, their numbers weren't great. Why was it different tonight? Obviously, the Celtics were making a lot of 3-pointers. You're having to chase people around the perimeter.
Yeah, I think this is the best team in the NBA, and they're good for a reason. They play their style of basketball at a high rate. They generated 27 threes there in the first half. And made, I think, 11 of them, and so we have to be better. We can't give them 7 made threes in the first quarter. That would have outscored us with only scoring 20, and so we have to be better. Give them credit. They were good tonight, but again, we got to be better. Nerves or not being in this situation, we can't use that as an excuse. It's just basketball, and we got to be better at the game of basketball on Sunday.
Any other? Right here.
Hi, Jason. Bob Schron of the Journal. They opened up a huge lead in the first quarter and a half. Did you kind of have to see how your team would handle that, and seeing how a bunch of the guys were in their first finals?
Yeah, I think I thought the group handled it well at halftime. We talked about what we had to do, and I thought we did that coming out in the third. Again, cutting that lead, getting it to 8 with the ball. Unfortunately, we traveled. And then, from that point on, they took control of the game. But I thought the group responded. I thought we were better in the second half. And hopefully we can build on that third and fourth quarter going into game 2.
On the left, Tim.
Tim Cato, The Athletic. Jason, you may have been asked about going down, losing games won. You guys have done that twice already, even this postseason run. The next day, what do you try to make that about for the team? What is the kind of the purpose of conveying both emotion and confidence and also strategy throughout the course of kind of going into the next day?
Yeah, I think it's just, about the positives. What can we do to build on the positives? We'll talk about that tomorrow. Understanding the small things, the physicality, we have to be better at that. But just looking at the positives, look at the things that we can control, and then we'll build from there.
First row here on the right.
Valencia King, Real Talk Sports out of Dallas. You mentioned a moment ago that it's just basketball, and getting back to that, Luka was asked about the run where you guys cut it to 8, and he said they were having fun and they have to do more of that. Not to get into your secrets of coaching, but how do you coach more fun for the guys?
We talked about it at halftime. I thought we weren't having fun there in the first half. And we talked about having fun to work the game, to continue to keep playing. There's a lot of time. A lot of people will talk about one game, but we're talking about a series. So the bigger picture is to continue to keep working in the series. And I thought the guys did a really good job there in the third quarter. We get the miss, we get the rebound, the momentums are going our way. Unfortunately, we traveled. So we just have to be better. We know that Boston's a really good team, and so we got to be better on Sunday.
Any other questions for Coach?